Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and here is some Titanfall beta gameplay that I will be sharing with you and also sharing my thoughts on it with you today. So, like it or not, you're going to hear this because, what else are you gonna do? Are you seriously gonna close down the internet? I don't think so. Alright, so Titanfall is this new game coming out in about a month, right? From a new developer called Respawn Entertainment and sold by under the EA umbrella. And by the way, if you didn't know, Respawn was formed by the top two co-founders, ex-co-founders, I guess, of Infinity Ward, Jason West and Vince Zampella, in 2010, after they were fired by Activision in the beginning of that year for, quote, breach of contract. Supposedly, Activision claimed West and Zampella were talking to EA behind their backs. Ironically, after Activision fired their best people, the rest of the top developers of Infinity Ward and employees left and found a new home at Respawn. Around 45 of them, if I remember correctly. And then a slew of lawsuits ensued, which later apparently were settled by Activision because Infinity Ward guys were supposedly saying that they weren't paid royalties for Modern Warfare 2 after they were fired. Not surprisingly, then it is that Titanfall has that distinct Call of Poopy flavor. It is fast, non-stop, edge-of-your-seat action, futuristic shooter that has, I think has some elements of Crysis in it, like, wall jumps and invisibility cloaks and special abilities, those gimmicks. And graphically and sound-wise, it's nowhere close to the beauty of Battlefield 4 or Arma 3 or some later shooters, FPS games, but I don't think that's what they were going for. Even with the, quote, insane texture quality setting and 16AA, right now this gameplay right here is in 1080p and everything is maxed out, and every video setting that I could is maxed out. Oh, and speaking of texture quality, I found what was causing my mouse jitter and video lag yesterday. In my previous Titanfall video, it was really jittery. And if this happens to you, this is the solution. You should just disable the vertical sync, because it makes the game all wiggy. Alright, but other than that, it's all on max, as I said, as high as it will go. Alright, so let's get back to the gameplay. It's a super fast shooter, as I said, and it will be more addicting than crack, I predict. The game is built on the Source engine and will supposedly run 16 people per game. So, not a whole lot of people, In fact, you will find out that most of the enemy that you kill won't even be human. Now, as far as the enemy players go, most of the time you will only meet the AI bots, namely the grunts and the specters and such, and rarely when you meet the human players, the pilots. They will be really, really hard to kill, but you won't be seeing too many of them. And you won't know which kind of enemy you are shooting at until you actually start shooting at them. And, you'll find out soon enough, because the grunts go down really, really easily. And the pilots take, a whole mag, if more, maybe, of bullets to stop them. Now, the one thing that I kind of found annoying about the game, about Titanfall, is the COD-like spawns. in that when you die, you respawn in your already chosen kit. It doesn't take you back to the spawn screen where you can choose your loadout again, like it does in, let's say, Battlefield. So it's kind of a bit annoying that you always have to pause the game and go to the pause menu to choose your kit loadout. And more so, you can't customize the custom kits unless you are out of a round and in the main menu, which is also COD-like, and it's kind of annoying if you ask me, because, you know, in Battlefield you could always choose your weapon and take it with you just right then and there, you know. Another thing that's quite fun and I liked about the game, nice touch I thought, was the constant audio feedback from your uplink and from the Titan and from the AI, because the Titan will constantly say you are outnumbered 2 to 1 or something like that, and sometimes the uplink will kind of warn you when you are getting carried away with a bunch of kills that this isn't a free-for-all and that you should start PTFOing and capping flags, which I thought was a nice play of Call of Poopy, a nice satire that it's not all about just mindless kills, that you should be capping flags as well. Alright, so Titanfall is a multiplayer game, obviously, but it's multiplayer only, so with no famous Call of Poopy cinematic campaign included. As far as single player goes, there's only a training course which will get you familiar with controls and abilities that you have as a pilot in this nano suit, much like Halo or Crisis. And even when piloting a Titan robot, you are still pretty agile and can do things like dash and punch and grab and whatnot. And you can try to combine those moves as a pilot, and it's pretty fun. It's a kind of like parkour. Alright, so the tutorials are very numerous, there's a ton of them, and will take quite a bit of time to go through them all. And so I'm not even doing that. Thankfully, you can skip them and go right to blowing shit up. As far as the things available in the beta, obviously they didn't let us have access to all of the kit, but what we do have is several primary weapons, 2 sidearms, 2 anti-Titan launchers, a pistol with auto lock-on. Now this is a new strange bit of kit here. It's a pistol that doesn't do too much damage, but it can be auto locked on to 4 targets, and shooting, it will shoot and hit all 4. It will auto hit them, as in, homing bullets. Now, as far as abilities go, you have 2 at the moment, namely Cloak and Stim. Cloak is invisibility, the invisibility thing that you had kind of exactly like you had in Crisis 3, except it won't make you completely invisible to lock on or the smart pistol. But as far as the AI bots go, they won't see you. As far as enemy human players go, which are called pilots, they will pretty much spot you pretty easily. And I'll get into that later, but as I said, the game has player bots together with human players on a server in a game, of which there are only 6 on 6 in certain game modes, as I said before. Stim is just a boost to your running speed and health regeneration. Alright, so grenades come in 2 varieties. Frag is exactly what you think it is, and arc grenades, which do less damage than the frag grenades against infantry, but will totally screw up a Titan's vision and distort its systems for a few seconds. And will also distort and decloak a pilot on the ground. Perks can be chosen, that can be chosen right now, that we have our parkour kit, which allows for longer hang time and wall runs and all those sorts things that you can imagine. Explosive pack, as you might expect, it lets you carry more explosives, and power cell, which will let you recharge your special ability faster. Dome shield battery will extend the life of the Titan's shield after it falls to the ground, so after Titanfall. So kind of like spawn protection for a few seconds. Minion detector shows up on your map, shows on your map all the AI bots on the map at all times. It doesn't allow you to see human players, but the AIs like the specters and the grunts will show up. And warpfall transmitter. It's a fun bit of kit that basically makes your Titan slam down almost immediately after you call it and crush whatever was unlucky enough to be underneath it. I have yet to try that one. I didn't get any Titan smash kills yet. Alright, so you can also customize your Titans, which every Titan has a different chassis and an ability that is native to it. The Agile Atlas, the Ponderous Ogre, and the Nimble Strider. Titans have customizable weapons and tactical abilities. Right now we have the Vortex Shield, which is basically the manually activated shield that you can use to stop and then return all the damaging rounds and projectiles at the enemy, and Electric Smoke, which is a countermeasure much like the IR smoke in Battlefield 4. It can be used for many things, like, according to the game, most notably to kill a pilot that has climbed onto the back of your Titan and basically try to screw it up and kill you. And you can, shake him off that way when he's on your back. And by the way, that maneuver is rightly called the rodeo. So, fun bit of kit there. Under ordnance, right now we have the rocket salvo, which is unguided rockets for destroying clusters of enemies, and slaved warheads, which are guided missiles. Kit abilities include nuclear ejection, which is kind of like Last Stand, so after you eject from your Titan, it goes nuclear and destroys whatever is near it at the time. Regen booster is what you might expect, faster shield regeneration, and fast autoloader, which is again pretty much pretty straightforward, as it loads the weapon faster, reloads. Auto eject is an automatic ejection seat that ejects you from the Titan as soon as it's, quote, doomed, and will also cloak you while you are flying out of the Titan. And Survivor is a slower rate of dying for the Titan that lets you fight a few extra seconds after it is doomed. You also have this crazy system called the burn cards, which are basically one-use ability that you can pick that will work until you die. So they're disposable. These are kind of fun, and they just bring a new level to the game that keeps you, even more addicted to it. Some of these are pretty cool, like prosthetic limbs or amped smart pistol or a faster Titan build time and whatnot. And as far as the game modes go, the beta has 3 of them. namely attrition. If you have never played classic Titanfall before, this is the place to start. Kill anything on the enemy team to earn attrition points. The winning team is the one that hits the score limit first. It has the highest score when the time is up. Wikipedia has it explained as hostage rescue against defenders, but I place it as basically a team deathmatch where every kill brings you a few seconds closer to your Titanfall. Hardpoint domination is capture and hold the 3 hardpoints in the map for your team to earn points. The more hardpoints you hold, the faster you win. Capture neutral hardpoints by standing near them for a short amount of time. Retake enemy held hardpoints by standing near them for a longer time. A hardpoint must be rendered neutral before you can begin to capture it. If enemies are near a hardpoint, you must find and eliminate them before capturing or neutralizing will happen. Last Titan Standing is, well, a game mode where, as you can imagine, everyone starts off in a Titan. Your team must eliminate all of the enemy's Titans or pilots to win. This is a round-based mode, and the team that wins the best of 5 rounds wins the match. Within each round there is no respawning, and there is no replacement Titans until the next round starts. But it's kind of it kind of goes south quick, this game mode, when one of the enemy Titans is destroyed. It kind of snowballs very quickly in a situation where if one is lost, then all are lost. Alright, so as far as the maps go, we have 2 of them in the beta, namely Angel City, the description of which says, when the IMC instituted martial law in Angel City, massive walls were built and a system of security checkpoints was created to divide the city into many smaller districts. The unfortunate residents of Harbor District, now unable to move freely throughout the city, are only able to view the glittering skyline from afar. Pilots fighting in the city gravitate to the highly accessible rooftops, using them to cross entire city districts without even touching the ground. And the second map, Fracture, says the IMC's discovery of fuel-rich veins beneath the once beautiful community led to aggressive, systematic fracking of the area, pardon the pun, turning it into a seismically unstable shell of a former opulence. Titans rule much of the jagged terrain, forcing pilots to move through and take cover within the interiors of the abandoned buildings. The best pilots will carefully time their cloak usage for the precise amount of time that is necessary to move between the protective interior spaces, or use every available square inch of vertical surface to string together complex wall-run routes. Oh, and by the way, you are dealing with 2 factions in this game, as you can see, as I just mentioned. The IMC and the militia. The militia are the civilian military of the frontier and the resistance against the IMC, or the Interstellar Manufacturing Corporation. Not a very inventive name. Their most important members include Titan War veteran and Frontier Mutiny leader McCowan, Intel specialist and engineer Bish, and Marauder Corps leader Sarah. The corporate conglomerate IMC specializes in natural resource extraction and came to the resource-rich frontier for business. Kind of sounds like EA, don't you think so? Their major players are Frontier Operations Commander-in-Chief Vice Admiral Graves, Intel Specialist Blisk, and Artificial Intelligence Companion Spyglass. Oh, by the way, real quick, I forgot to mention, I already discovered a fun Easter egg. Apparently, there is a Respawn Entertainment logo on the iron sights of certain rifles. If you aim down sights, you will actually see the logo under the iron sights, so that's kind of fun. Now, you as a human player are what's called a pilot, and ironically, you are infantry until you spawn a Titan and go to town. You also have a bunch of AI bots fighting with you. These are minions, specters, and grunts. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the system requirements for Titanfall were tweeted by Vince Zampella himself, as I will read off the minimum requirements right now. These are 64-bit Windows 7, 8, or 8.1, AMD Athlon X2 2.8 GHz or Intel Core 2 Duo 2.4 GHz, 4 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of video memory, Radeon HD 4770 or GeForce 880 GT, or an Xbox One. Oh, and also the rounds, I have to mention this as the epilogue stage. When the rounds end and you defeat the other team, it basically goes over into this epilogue stage, which is basically kind of like the sore loser stage, as I like to call it. Basically what happens is the defeated enemy will be picked up by the evac ship if they get to it in time, which is only a few seconds. And the winners, therefore the undisputed champions of the world, as the winners you get to stop that. You can either take out the dropship or kill the enemies fleeing from the scene, because at this point everyone in the epilogue has only one life left, and if you die you get to spectate the remaining players. So thanks for watching. Please rate and share this video as it helps my channel grow, and check out my other videos at the end of this one. And remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.